Y'all would indulge me just a moment, please.
Good evening. I'm not quite as tall as Nate, so I'll bring it down just. You tonight on the work of the partnership. I'd like to just acknowledge Rob Bronner, who is here, who is the program director for the BeltLine Partnership, and just want to share for the audience this is half of the staff of BeltLine Partnership. We're 4 strong at the BeltLine Partnership, but we're working hard to make sure that we advocate strongly for the BeltLine. I'm going to report to you more about 3 areas of the BeltLine Partnership's work, not just the capital campaign, but I will be quick and won't take up too much time with doing that. I do want to note for you that we launched the campaign in January of this year, and to date we are at 26% of our goal of $60 million for the capital campaign. We have in pledges a commitment of $15.7 million, and we have outstanding proposals for about $12.2 million that we feel really, really positive about making sure that those dollars are going to come in fairly quickly. We've received support from 6 foundations, 4 corporations, and several individual gifts that have been significant in helping us to get to this milestone. We want to report that in spite of the legal challenges that we have been faced with, that the support in the private sector is very, very strong for the BeltLine. It remains very strong for the BeltLine. The belief in the vision of the BeltLine is still there. We had a really important campaign call yesterday, and I want to just tell you that it was overwhelming with the people in the room, their level of support and commitment that still remains in the private sector for the BeltLine. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about education and outreach and just tell you a little about what we've been doing. Many of you know, because many of you have probably participated in the tours that we've implemented at BeltLine Partnership. We kicked off our tours in April of this year, and to date we have provided tours to over 700 residents in Atlanta, and most of those people either live in or around the BeltLine, but we have provided 700 tours to people, and overwhelmingly the response once people have gone on the tours is they get it. It kind of clicks. They get it. They understand what it is that we're trying to do. Those tours are open to the public. They're free. They're every Friday and Saturday morning. This is my one commercial that I will make. They're every Friday and Saturday morning. They begin at 9:15 to 12:30. It is a 3-hour tour. Unfortunately, for those of you who have been on the tour, you're probably familiar with the fact that we've stopped at the quarry. We won't be stopping at the quarry for a minute. We've got to kind of halt that because they are in the process of kind of shutting down operations there. And for safety reasons, we have to be careful about going in there. But hopefully, we received a little encouraging news that we'll be able to start that up again as soon as they've finished those the shutdown operations. We've also been doing BeltLine 101 presentations in the community to a diverse number of neighborhoods and civic organizations and businesses. And we had a special emphasis on the Southern Crescent with making sure that we are going in and talking to that. And BeltLine 101 is while there are many people, as evident by the numbers of you who are in this room tonight, and probably many, many others who are not in this room tonight, who are aware of what the BeltLine is, there are many people out there who don't know what the BeltLine is. And a part of our role and one of our main missions at the BeltLine Partnership is to educate the community on what the BeltLine is so that they can come to meetings like this and be engaged and participate in the study groups and know what is going on in their communities and voice their opinions about what is happening. So we've been doing those presentations in the community. We've probably we're in the beginning of developing a BeltLine Education program for the school systems, because we would like to be able to go into the public school systems and talk to the kids, and public and private school systems, talk to the kids about the BeltLine and what it is, to educate them so that they are familiar, because we really are building this for our kids. It is about our future, so we want to make sure that they understand what is happening as it relates to the BeltLine. We're finalizing the redesign of the website, and we're going to make it more user-friendly. That has been a collaborative effort with Atlanta BeltLine Partnership and the Atlanta Development Authority, but we're in the final phases of that. You will see October 1, a newly designed website for the BeltLine, and it will be for the BeltLine. You'll be able to come in and look at if you want to go see what's happening with the BeltLine Partnership, you can. If you want to go see what's happening with Atlanta BeltLine Inc., you can. So it will be more user-friendly for the community. We're also, we've had some research done by, we had an online survey that people participated in through the city of Atlanta, but we also had some research done by a group at Emory University to talk to us about our outreach in some of the harder to reach communities to make sure that we are getting to people and talking to them. That research has been very valuable to us, and we're about to implement the recommendations that came forth from that research, because we've been able to tie down just exactly where we really need to focus, and we're going to implement that. What it tells us is that it's got to be more personal. It's got to really be almost door to door. We've got to get out there, and we've got to make sure that we're knocking on doors and talking to people and making sure that they understand. Everything from leaving door hangers on the doors if people aren't at home, telling them how to get in touch with us, to talk to us so that we can make sure that they are aware of what's happening, and we're at the point of being ready to implement that. And we've also been able to increase our database. This quarter alone, we've increased that database by 1,500 members of people that we send email blasts to and who receive our newsletter, which is really significant because that tells us that we are increasing the numbers of people that we're reaching and talking to about the BeltLine. The other issue that I wanted to talk to you about that we've been focusing on is around the social concerns and issues that Terry talked to you about. A part of the role of the partnership is to identify and deal with those difficult social issues and concerns that may be negatively impacted as a result of the success of the BeltLine. Everywhere we go, everywhere we talk to, people talk to us about displacement, and they talk to us about employment and job training and the opportunities there for them. One of the things that the partnership is doing is we have partnered with Atlanta Workforce Development, and we are trying to work with them to develop a pilot program to do a job training and apprenticeship piece. That is something that we are currently working on. We've talked with the Department of Labor about possibility of receiving some demonstration dollars to do this, and we're real excited about the possibilities that might come from that. As well as we will be hosting early in September a conversation with a national consultant that has worked in other communities to do look at possibilities and opportunities for mitigating displacement for best practices around the country. So that is something that we are hosting in September, and hopefully we will walk away from that table with some really constructive types of tools to help us in that area. And the final thing I'd like to say is that it's an announcement. On October 20th, Trees Atlanta, Park Pride, and the BeltLine Partnership are coming together to do a cleanup of the West End Trail. We need volunteers. We need about 300 volunteers. So I think when I look around this room, there are probably about 150 people in here. So I've got half of them here. And then we'll get another half from somewhere else. And we think that it'd be great if we have to turn volunteers away on the day of October 20th. But we are going to go out. For those of you who have gone on the tour and we've passed that segment that we so proudly point out to you, where Ed and his folk will be going in and doing our first mile or two of demonstration of Pat Trail, what you look at when you see it is that there is a need to go in there and make sure that we clean that up. So we will be hosting that cleanup on October 20th. There is a phone number, and I have to look at the number to make sure I'm getting it right. The contact at Trees Atlanta is Susan Pierce, and the phone number is 404-522-4097. You can also go online at the beltline.org and sign up, register to be a volunteer. You can go to www.treesatlanta.org, or you can go to the Park Pride website to sign up to be a volunteer. It's going to be a fun day. We're going to be connecting Atlantans with Atlantans and making sure that we are cleaning up the BeltLine, because it is about the BeltLine connected. Thank you so much.